Okay, this is going to be a quick video about just a little update on some things that have changed in AceRacersSP. Specifically, I made a campaign import and export system is the landmark. So I made a big long video about it last night, and I kind of walked through how to do some things with it, and then I kind of showed some expected results type of kind of stuff, and talked about some other stuff, and then I went through the whole deal and then discovered that my video had no audio. So here I am again. Alright, so the main change is the import and export of campaigns. So the way that it works is the import levels packs and export levels packs. They give the player the ability to package up a bunch of levels into a pack and then export it as a folder that you could then zip and post in the Discord. So the best way right now to share levels is to post them in the Discord, and you can see yesterday I was making my video and I posted the campaign pack. And then what will happen is you can either download them and import them yourself, but I assume that many people will not be comfortable downloading 8 kilobytes of what's going on here from Discord. So if you post it on Discord, a campaign pack or a levels pack or a single level, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it, and then I'm going to include it in the game files so that you'll be able to just get the game update, and then all you got to do after the game update is come here and import the campaign if that's what you want to do. But there'll be more in there than, you know, maybe if you don't want to check it out yet, or, you know, you don't have to import it, or, you know, it's not a requirement. It's not going to be built into the game. It'll just be built into the update, so that all you have to do is click import and it'll be listed here, and then you can import if somebody does post a campaign or levels pack or single level. So to export a campaign, what you do is first you have to have a campaign. So if you don't have any campaigns, you got to create a campaign, right? And then once your campaigns are there, you can select your campaign, and then you can go to export the campaign, and you can export the campaign to two places. You can export the campaign to the game folder where the game is running from while you're playing it. So if you're using Steam, the easiest way to go and find that place is you come over to your game right here, you right click, and then if you go to manage, and you can browse the local files, and right here you can see is the first real campaign, CMPPK, and that's the campaign pack that I created on the video last night. And so I'll go ahead and delete that right now. So this is the game folder that Steam has. That so then if I go back, look in the game, now there's no campaign I can import anymore because I just deleted it. So if I want to export to there, this is the export campaign button. I just click on the campaign I want to export, and I click export, and then lo and behold, here it is right at the bottom, first real campaign, CMPPK. Alright, and then in here there's the campaign itself, and then there's all the levels. And so then if you wanted to share that to Discord, all you do is right click on it, really you want to put it on your desktop. You would paste it to your desktop, or you would come here, or you would copy this and paste it to your desktop, or you would compress to zip and then drag this to your desktop, and it's already there because I did it already. But basically, once you get the folder then you compress to zip, and then you move that zip where you're going to be able to find it from Discord. And then you come to Discord and you upload a file, and you go to your desktop, and here it is, and then you open it, and then you can press enter. And so there you see I have it again. And then what I'll do is I'll download your campaign pack, I'll test it, I'll see what's in there, I'll play it, I'll check it out. Then I'll put it in the game folders, in the game files, and then on the next update you'll be able to just through the game menu import it, and it'll be playable. So if you wanted to export the campaign directly to your desktop, what you do is you can go to your desktop right here, and you can right click right there, and you can copy as path. And you can do this for any location. So if you have some other folder hierarchy that you want to store all your exports in, you just find it in your file explorer and you right click on it and you copy as path. And then here you click into this field right here and you paste it. So you can actually memorize your path and just type it. But C prompt users, my name, the location is OneDrive, and then the desktop, because I'm using OneDrive. So then you paste that there, and then if I export the campaign to path, then actually I already did that before, and it does not give you a warning if the file already exists. It's kind of, I'm not using all that stuff in there. I might try to figure out how to include all that kind of stuff, like, oh, do you want to overwrite it? Do you want to rename it? But here it is right here. And you can see that it already existed. And the last time it was modified was 10:42 a.m. yesterday. So what that means is that my game did not overwrite the existing. So by default, if I export it and it's already out there, you're not going to get a warning that's my game isn't that well developed. I'm not that good of a programmer to have all that stuff ready for you. But if that file name exists exactly already, it's not going to overwrite it. Now, if you export it and you had only some of it in there, so let me see, I'll delete this and I'll delete this. So now you see that in that folder, some of it's missing, right? So if I go out here, and did I just close the game? I did. So let me go back into the game. And let's say I then choose to export the campaign to path again. And now we know that I deleted that stuff. What do you know? Here it is again. So it'll fill it out all the way. So if you add to it or change it and it's just got some more stuff, then you could just export that. And if it's a levels pack, for example, it'll just fill that levels pack up. It won't delete, it won't add doubles, it won't overwrite anything. It'll skip all of that, but anything that's not there, it will write to it. So similarly, when you want to import, it's a little bit different. You don't just put the path and then click and it'll import. This right here, right now, is the game files, right? So if you want to look on your desktop, so then you put the desktop here, and when you click the button, the path to find the campaign, any campaigns that are on your desktop will be listed. So this is all of the possible campaign packs that are on the desktop right here. So then I already have all these, I could click import, but nothing would happen because they're already there. And then you still have to click import again once you've selected the one that's on your desktop that you want to get. You see that it's here, and then you click import and it'll import it. So the way the campaign is gonna look is that if you play a campaign, okay, so I'm gonna play this test campaign because it'll go really quick. So you play, and then first there will be a little bit of time where you see this first screen that's got the name, the race type, and the timer type. And it also has your name and the campaign name up at the top. And then after a while, it'll pop to this second menu. And you can see, you can't see my mouse anymore. And then when you press F2 to begin, just like it says at the bottom, and you can race. And I just gotta go a couple laps here real quick around these two little hoops. And here we go. Lap number 3. So then the race is now finished. And so what you're gonna see is then you get the end of race screen popped up. It's got your name, the campaign name. I still haven't fixed that race type. Or actually I did, I just haven't rebuilt it. And then, some lap information. And where it said race type at the top there, it should say line race, or it should have said number of laps, but just at the end of each race it's going to be like that until I post the next update. I'll probably change that today. I already fixed it in the game. It's just I didn't fix it in the posted update. So then I'll just come through here and finish these two really quick ones really quick. So that's the end of that one, and it's going to pop up again. See, this is a race type right there. It's supposed to say the race type, not supposed to tell you there should be one. So then at the bottom you can see laps in parentheses. And here we are at the end of the campaign. That's the final level. So then after this, it pops to the end campaign screen. A little bit of a wait period. So now here on the end campaign screen, it's all the same as the start campaign screen, except you have your total race time at the end. Since there was no timer for these ones, then you don't have any time. No timer is one of the timer types that you can choose on a level. And then when you're all set, you just click back to main menu, and here you go. So I don't know if I talked about it in another video, but up here we have the name, player name. So if you change the player name, that's all that happens. The player name is, you can see in the campaign that there was a player name posted at the top. It's here as well. And then the other place that there's a player name is in your race history. And I believe I've shown the race history in a video, but at the end of your campaign, if you want to go check out how you compare against other times you've done it, here's your race history, and it's a little bit of a mess. I'm not really sure how I'm going to handle this race history. See, I'm already getting full, so it's going to be like this, and then I'm going to have some kind of way that it's going to make pages, and then I'm not sure how that's going to go, but the current page will be pretty long, and the pages will all be pretty long, but should automatically generate new pages is probably what I'm going to go for. And then there'll be like a back and a front button, and then it'll start at page current, and then it'd be nice if I could get this slider to come down to the current location. I haven't figured out how to do that because the text inside is not sized dynamically with as it makes these. The text size is like the full size of this thing, so I only could pick a number. I don't know how to figure out where it last printed text. I have to figure that out. Anyways, so then you can look at your last race history. You see that first one had 3 laps, so you got all the laps listed right here. So the date was today, player was me, the vehicle was the space vehicle, the scene was the arena. This is the level name right here, the save name, the campaign name, the race type, the timer type, the total checkpoints, the lap count, the total race time, the best lap, and all of the laps are then listed at the end. So if you were hoping to kind of review your progress or maybe best times and stuff like that, there's no way for the game is not going to know your best time automatically. That's one of the things that I thought about putting into the campaigns or maybe the races, is like every level would store with it a best time for that level, and then if your best time ever improved, then you would know anyways, you know, just automatically every time you ran a race, then you would know if that was your best time or not. But it's going to be a little bit of a system, kind of a dream sheet item. For now, I'm not terribly worried about it. I'm mostly worried in this case being able to store and review your history. There's no way to clear that. You just can do it manually by going into the game files. I can show you that really quick. If you're like, oh, that race history is not for me, all you got to do is you got to go to Steam, and you got to browse your local files, and then I'm not sure where it is. It's not there. If you want to do that, what you have to do is you have to go to, scratch that, you have to go to your C drive or your main drive where your Windows is running from. Then you go to users, then you go to your name, then you go to app data. This is where it starts to get to be, this is always the same, so all that could be different, but you go to app data in your user app data, then you go to local low, and then TSM Space is the game company that made this game. So then you go to TSM Space, because I'm the developer, so it's my game company. And then I've got all these in here, but it's not. It's this one right here. And so you should only have the one. And then all you gotta do is look for saved times. And if you look in here, there's the saved times file, and you can delete that. And then your race history will be erased. And what's gonna happen when I change to make pages, each page is gonna be a whole file. So what's gonna happen is, it's gonna look for saved times 1, and if it's not there, it's going to generate it and then start it, and then copy all of this to saved times 1, and then saved times will be the current, and then you'll start making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then when that happens, when you start getting more pages, each page will be a file, and you'll just click this and it'll load that file, and click this and it'll load that file, and then each page will be probably this big. Actually, that's what I'm going to probably do. That way it kind of goes on for a while without her. I mean, I understand why somebody would want whatever's visible on one page to be one page, but I'm saving a lot more data than a lot of games will save, and I might even try to increase that saved data rather than decrease it. And so there's just nothing you can do. I mean, unless each race entry is going to be one page, which is what that would look like, and you just be clicking for days. This is not something that you look at every day, you know. This is like, oh, you try to look, it's got the date, you know, and I might put the time even on there too, if it's going to get like that. But then you just you know, it'll go on the one page for a while, and then you can go back and get quite a bit of information per page. That'll be the goal. So then, just kind of a recap of other recent events. Well, here's this funny thing. So if you go to the vehicles menu and you go back, you come back here. But if you go to the instructions and then you go to the main menu, you go to the vehicles menu. I'm going to fix that eventually, but I'm not terribly worried about it. But actually, it's kind of an interesting thing, because if you check here, I got these hints. The primary gameplay is from the vehicles menu. That's not on purpose that you go back to the vehicles. If you go to here, then you go back to the vehicles menu as well. So it's an accident, but it's a happy accident, because really, this is where you should be going anyways. The training menu, that's just a work in progress. It's abandoned, totally on the shelf. You know, I don't really think it's the amount that would have to be in here for it to be called a reasonable walkthrough for the amount of functions that are in the game is enormous. And I'm not going to make that ever. I mean, I'm just never going to make that. So the thing is the training, you know, you just import the levels pack and then you go to the first level and then it'll tell you how to load a level, and then when you load it, it'll tell you to press the race button, and then everything else you got to figure out. So and then the training is not how to use the buttons and how to play the game. It's because flying is hard. Those levels are designed to be give you an idea of what you should try to accomplish first once you've learned the buttons all by yourself. Okay, so there are some other ways you can learn buttons though, like this will walk you through how to place an object. You can remind yourself there. And here's some buttons right here. And of course there's always the instructions. So then I gotta update these instructions. I haven't touched them since the training menu. But here's a controls description right here. So the way that you really should do it is you should look ship controls. Oh, forward and reverse. Here's the buttons right here. That's how you should learn the controls. So once you look here and then you're like camera controls, I don't even know what this stuff is. Then you can go to the controls description and hopefully there is a little walkthrough of everything that can be done in the game in this controls description for the basic gameplay items. I mean, obviously it's not that extensive, but you know, so if you didn't know what ignore weights was, or what is last hoop is last hoop, or change time or style, or change race type, you might be able to find it in here, and then that'll give you a clue of what's going on. And then once you get some experience, then you'll have a lot better idea. Alright, so thank you very much. Kind of a long video. My coffee is done. But that's just a quick review of the things that you can see I've managed to include in the game so far. And I hope that you can play a campaign and export a campaign and think that's pretty cool. Alright, thank you very much.